So as you can tell by the title, this video is about cosplay and really my view of cosplay and what cosplay means to me, because that's the only part of authority of cosplay that I have, is cosplay as it pertains to myself. This is also a video response to Amanda on Nerd Girls for the Win for her video called Cosplay Everyday. So one can argue that cosplay has now become part of the mainstream media. Some might argue that it's not there at all, ever, and the mainstream doesn't understand cosplay, and I would argue that it's definitely somewhere in between and well on its way to becoming a fact in a bar trivia contest thing that you should know so that you can win beer and shots and appetizers or gifts. You know where I'm going with this. If one looks up what cosplay is on Wikipedia, they get short for costume play, is an activity which participants wear costumes and accessories to represent a specific character or idea from a work of fiction. Cosplayers often interact to create a subculture centered on roleplay. A broader use of the term cosplay applies to any costume roleplay in venues apart from the stage, regardless of the cultural context. So yeah, some would say that there's Halloween costumes and then there are cosplayers. For me, it's more of the mindset and the attitude you're taking into it. One of my favorite cosplayers, and she's also on the list of people who were my favorite who I've never actually met yet, is Dykstra, or @Skydire. And from watching her videos on the Nerdist channel, on her own personal YouTube channel, and in Heroes of Cosplay that aired on Sci-Fi channel, I've kind of picked up her vibe as my attitude, where being a cosplayer is kind of like being a nerd fighter. Like how the vloggers say, do you want to be a nerd fighter? And you answer yes, you're a nerd fighter. Do you want to be a cosplayer? You answer yes, then you're a cosplayer. That's kind of what I meant by the intention behind the costume. Costumes for Halloween purposes and thematic purposes are just that. Like, put your suit on and wrap a box and put it over your penis area and be the dick in the box guys. Or you could go to a con and do the same thing. It's kind of really just up to interpretation. My biggest thing is no one should be able to look at you and say, you're not a cosplayer because I say so. If you want to identify as a cosplayer, go ahead. Who has two thumbs and wants to identify as a cosplayer? Now looking back at my life, we should have seen this coming. I'm gonna go ahead and start with high school because that's where I have digital proof. Number one, I started out as a techie in theater, and when I started as a techie, I was put in charge of the props department as my first position. Number two, in high school, I had school spirit up the wazoo. Did I give a shit about school and sports? Not really. I just loved to dress up. I dressed up for any reason, any possible thing. Another facet that cosplay was just gonna be a part of my future is my favorite holiday is Halloween. I love Halloween, always have. This really grew in university, and just being in college in general is so great for going all out. And also how I started stretching Halloween into 4 days of a year instead of one. If I somehow can't stretch it into 4 days, I'll probably end up wearing 3 costumes on Halloween. And then you can look at YouTube, where I would say maybe 90% of the time I sit in front of the camera, I think about what to wear to somehow thematically bring myself into the topic of conversation. Obviously for this video, I had do this on my Fanish Reviews channel. The book that I'm reviewing, I try to dress in some sort of way that I think thematically relates to the book I'm talking about. And then Amanda referenced me in her video about cosplay, saying that I dress up to midnight show releases at movies and other things. And that is true too. As you can tell, I've just gotten more and more interested as my life has progressed, and cosplay is really the next step in my narcissism. Now here I am kind of looking at my place within cosplay. I really have just tried to jump in feet first to this community. I think I am very, very good at the walking around costume. So I'm classifying myself as Cosplay 101, where if I were to compete, I'm trying to take my level into maybe the beginner level. I've mentioned Dykstra, and there's a few other professional cosplayers that are really great inspiration because they are great at what they do, and I think they're awesome people too. Links down there. But someone I consider a master who's been really helpful in inspiring me in my personal life is Erin. Let me just gush about Erin because she's what I consider a cosplay master, and what people think of when they think of cosplay are people like Erin, who's fantastic. As I just dive in as labeling myself as a cosplayer, Erin is the type of person that I am like setting my goals for to get there eventually. Also, I reference Erin because she's my real life friend and she allowed me to use her pictures. Links are down there too. Also, there's 2 vloggers on YouTube that I really appreciate as far as inspiration and also how-tos and explanations, and that's Mango Siren, and I'll put her Cosplay 101 playlist or series or her link to her channel, as well as Sachie on the Geek and Sundry vloggers channel. I think that's all I really wanted to say. I didn't script this video at all. It's kind of a word vomit video. If you have anything to say about any part of this video, please let me know in the comments. Alright, so this is the end screen video when I talk to you about something while you maybe click away to another video I did. Speaking of the last video I did, I talked about the cover of my friend Michelle's book that was just announced, and in that video I was giving away the first book in her first series, and I chose the winner, and ironically it is Amanda, who this video is a video response to. She told me that if she found out she had a rich parent and was gonna have access to a lot of money, she would build Hogwarts and put me in charge of the Ravenclaw house. So basically she wins at life. I want her dream to come true. And then I think my next video is gonna be about the first cons that I've ever gone to and the cosplay I saw there, because it's a theme, and this is October, and Halloween is coming up, and I get to go to my first con in Nashville here soon, so, I mean, it's my favorite. I want to talk about it, so where else am I going to talk about it but here? If you'd like to see that video, go ahead and subscribe to me. If not, don't care. If you liked this video, remember to like. If not, I don't care. Just don't thumbs it down because, as Will Wheaton says, don't be a dick.